Welcome everybody. In this fourth half an hour Artful Embroidery with Annemie. Also in this half an hour I work on a page of my memory books of my mother. You can find the blog of these on my homepage. What I work on this page is what I call old techniques in a new jacket. This is also a lesson from part 3 from my favorite embroidery book. I am working here now with satin couching. And all things what I do here is based on working on a fabric, but I make it fit for working with felt. I realize this page where I would like to take you with me is working white in white. And it would be absolutely not a good thing for a tutorial. But this isn't a tutorial. What I would like to do here is give you an impression from how I work. I would like to inspire you to take you with me in when I'm working on a work just for myself. When you really would like to see all the things how it should be done, then you better can go on my tutorial site tutorials.annemiekoenen.com, and there you can see it all totally well to practice. But this actually is of course not difficult, and I just take you with me. And I'm also free to take other techniques in it or other stitches. So I did the colonial knots in red, and the netting is an Italian azure embroidery. When we go back to that old techniques in a new jacket, then this starts with English embroidery. That is where you can see the cutting, and of course it is really different with felt as with fabric. I have no edges, what needs to be that it doesn't fizzle, or how should I say? The felt edges are just staying. So that's one difference, and the same is the satin couching. But my felt is also bigger than the fabric when you work with it thicker. So once in a while I need to uncrinkle my thread. And then I can go on. I lead my thread that all stitches are really nice next to each other. So I do not just pull it, but lead it to the white spot. We are the boss. This already a while ago that I worked on my memory book, because there are a lot other things on my path what needs attention, and I'm really longing a bit that to the time that I can make more time for this, but all on the right moment. I need again to uncrinkle my thread. Now you can see the way I go further in such a sharp corner. I go far behind in the free space, and this corner from this gap, I don't want to let it go in the outside edge. What I need to do, therefore, is work now a bit in the felt instead of in the free space. And I need to do that till I can go again further in the free space. Somewhere now I need to look, this is too early, so I make already a bigger stitch. Go first below, come up. It is different as when I just show the several stitches in a tutorial as when I work on a work, because now there come other things over in the way. And now I can go further again in the free space with the satin couching. Still nice next to each other. I lead my thread instead of just pull it. I can move the thread a bit before I pull it totally. You are the boss. So as we said already, these old techniques in the new jacket are coming from a mix of old techniques. So we talked already about the English embroidery. And further, what we see is Renaissance embroidery, what will be done with the buttonhole stitch, and Richelieu embroidery. Then the thread connections also have picots. Here we end our thread in between the felt, so you don't see anything on the other side. I do this 3 times. I could go on here with the satin couching, but probably for you it would be more nice when I also show some other things. So I take a red thread to make the colonial knot. And this should come here. I go in between the layers to start my thread 3 times. I lift the thread and then you see a little hole under the thread. I like the appearance of this little knot. It is a bit more work in the working. It has a nice effect. one more. And I can end my thread. And now we have in our half hour a bit more time to go into that Renaissance embroidery. As we already said, we do this with a buttonhole stitch, where we do in the English embroidery the satin couching. We do here buttonhole. Now here is a nice spot where I can show this, because I finished already that satin couching. So I let it start in that corner. And I go to my beginning spot totally on that corner. And then I go down, come up in the free space, because I would like to have a strong beginning. So I make one spot, one stitch like this, and I have a double line as first stitch. And now it just goes on with buttonhole. And here, just the same, I would like to have that stitches nice next to each other all. And here I'm coming along now from the other side, like that same corner, where I just worked with the satin couching. And here, of course, I would like to hide everything from that felt where it is cut. So there is still a little bit more. So I do one more stitch. And I make sure it is next to it, and then it's gone. Then I need to go here. So again, I go into the free space, move my thread as much as possible to the left and hold it, but it don't want to go as far as I would like. I can try to move it a bit, or I go a bit back. And then I go also from this side a bit into the surface of the felt till I have space to work in the free space, because I would like that the stitches just really go on, not that there was an open space between the stitches. So this is a Renaissance work. What is different with a normal fabric? Now I can work again in the free space. When I'm not satisfied, I take the thread a bit back and make it nice to each other. And now my half an hour is almost done, and it makes also me clear how many time is going into embroidery, but pleasant time. So pleasant that I cannot stop, almost. Now half an hour is over. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that I could inspire you, or maybe only nice sitting next to each other. In all cases, still another time. Have pleasure. Bye.